This episode of Fans Talk Pro Wrestling has been brought to you by the great members of our community, the Squared Circle of Trust. It's your way to directly support us so that we don't have to keep paying for everything out of pocket. If you enjoy our time together each and every week, just go ahead and pledge $1 a month or more on squaredcircleoftrust.com. Now, it's time for Fans Talk Pro Wrestling episode 309.
Beard!
From the Fans Talk Podcast family at fanstalkpodcast.com, this is episode 309 of Fans Talk Pro Wrestling. It's a show where we talk about the week that was in WWE, NXT, TNA, and Lucha Underground, except for tonight. Tonight, on this week's episode, we're going to preview two of the biggest shows of the year, WrestleMania 32, and more importantly, NXT Takeover Dallas. With us tonight is Joe. Say hello, Joe. Did Joe step away and I totally forgot that he did that?
He said he had to go and put his kid to bed soon.
Oh.
But he didn't say when, so it's just gone into the background.
We'll just go ahead and continue. And Nick. Say hello, Nick.
I'm not editing this shit.
And Sean. Say hello, Sean.
G'day, mate.
All right, later on this week, for everyone who is with us over on Patreon, in the Squared Circle of Trust, we're going to have a new episode of Squared Circle of Trust exclusive content as we once again carry on the tradition of playing Botchspot.com's Road to WrestleMania board game. It's always a good time. We normally try to do that on the main show, but with NXT Takeover happening this weekend as well, that tends to be a long show by itself. So we're just going to split it off, put it in its own thing, and just release that part of it for you. But let's go ahead and talk about the week that was in wrestling. We're going to start off with Raw. That's what we normally do. But let's be honest, guys. Let's totally skip this week's edition of Raw because pretty much everyone here and everyone we've talked to and everyone that talks to us, we're all pretty much in agreement that this was probably the most throwaway go-home Raw ever. So let's just go ahead and just forget about it and jump straight into WrestleMania 32.
Yay.
Yeah, right? So let's go ahead and start there. WrestleMania 32, again, the biggest event that we have in wrestling, and the attitude that we're having here, the quietness about it, it's pretty much across the board. We're all not really excited about WrestleMania.
They ruined everything.
Yeah. It's whether it's
I think that I'm excited.
Well,
to an extent.
Are you excited about the event, or are you excited because this is WrestleMania and we always get pumped up for WrestleMania?
I think there's some matches that I'm excited for. I'm not excited to watch Raw anymore, but I don't know. I'm excited because it's WrestleMania and I have hope. I have hope to get something decent.
You babe in the woods.
you know they're gonna make the matches are gonna be as good as they possibly can be, but it's not the matches themselves, it's the creative leading up to it that has led us like, I'm excited because it's WrestleMania. I think most fans would say that. But
yeah.
It's not like we don't even know which match is more important that's going on last. You would assume it's the title match, who knows? But it's been so over the place, they just don't know, and it's quite concerning, and it is really, I don't know if that's to reinforce the Taker Shane storyline, that they're all over the place and they're just like reinforcing that with that Raw is all over the place. Maybe I'm going too deep with that, but I don't know. It's
a good observation, but there seems to be a few different things all intertwined and nothing talks to the other thing. You've got the Shane and Undertaker storyline, and it seems to be completely isolated from the Triple H match, which is pretty much completely isolated from the Dean Ambrose match. And this seems like they all share very common stories, but they aren't working together. I mean, we normally hear the critiques of TNA, and we share in some of those. But like right now, if you look at the main event scene in TNA, while there's like one guy obviously holding the title and he's got one main feud, there's like 6 other guys that are always involved to be a part of that main title race. And that's one thing that's missing from WWE right now is not just the consistency, but also how everything works together. It seems like everything works in these little individual pockets.
To be fair, which is really hard with this show, the McMahon matches are indeed connected. So, yeah, Stephanie references Shane's stuff. Vince and Shane reference Stephanie's stuff. Shane's stuff is happening because of Stephanie's stuff. So, there are connections, but that's about the best thing I can say about that. It's kind of garbage.
But the thing is, they did say there's connections this week on Raw. I know we're going back to Raw, which is a snore fest, but they did acknowledge that connection between, the Shane and the Triple H for the first time in a month or 3 weeks. So they're trying to connect it, but again, too little, too late. Same, now I feel if Roman does the heel turn that everyone hopes he does, is that too late too? It seems like they're just so behind on it, and the Brooklyn crowd must have been a big wake-up call for them. Huge wake-up call. Because Dallas is going to destroy him. What is it? They reckon about 90,000 people are going to be booing for the babyface. Good job, WWE. Well done.
All right. Well, I guess we could go ahead and start with the card. And actually, before we really get into it, should note that, let me see, it was in the general Slack community, Stuart Decker posted something that he pulled off of Reddit. It's basically a WrestleMania scorecard. So for the group viewings and everything, you can fill out this card. It's basically prediction type of stuff, but you get points for different things, and it's really cool. I mean, overall, I wish there were more things like this. I know, for those who are Fans Talk historians, know that we used to do the FTW draft, and it was something similar to this, where you would get 5 points for a pay-per-view win and 2 points for this, or whatever. And I think doing little stuff like that is really cool. So we're gonna fill out our cards tonight, and basically as a prediction thing, and then depending on what happens this Sunday, we'll see who scored the most points. And this is in addition to our general pay-per-view picks. So as you know, our pay-per-view picks last from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. So each WrestleMania is counted, and at the end of it, we see who had the most correct pay-per-view or special event picks throughout the year. Just bragging rights stuff. So I did post the scorecard in the Slack live chat, so you guys can do the same thing. I'll also post it over in the Facebook group and anywhere else. It'll probably be on the show notes as well, up on the website. So check out fanstalkprowrestling.com in the next day or so. It should be there. So, okay, here is the card as it stands right now. We've got pretty much, it's a 4-hour pay-per-view, and so that starts at 7. Then we've got the official kickoff starting at 5 on the network. And then it cuts into USA. USA will have a little free pre-show as well at 6 p.m. So you've basically got 2 hours of pre-show, 4 hours of pay-per-view. That is a really long ass time. And, but whatever. It is what it is. We are not going to be like other podcasts who are going to be doing an additional 3 hours after that. We'll just sleep on it and come back to you next week.
Most likely I will want to turn off the TV and then prepare myself for the Raw, because after that Raw, after Mania, I need a week off wrestling. It's I love wrestling, but I know that I'm going to get frustrated somewhere along the line. It's like me going out to clubs and trying to pick up women. It's frustrating. You need to take a step back every so often and then try again.
I hear Tinder's pretty decent.
Put something in their drinks. I mean, wait, no, we're talking wrestling.
Well, that could work too.
Yeah, just spike Vince McMahon's drink. That's what I'm talking about. Not the dating thing. I in no way condone.
Hey, Sasha, get over here, damn it.
I'm the genetic jackhammer, damn it.
So the card.
Yes. All right. Here is the card as it stands right now. We've got 11 total matches. In the 2-hour pre-show kickoff thing, both on the network and USA, we've got the Usos versus the Dudleys, the Divas tag match, which is Brie Bella, Alicia Fox, Paige, and Natalya versus Lana, Team Bad. And is this accurate? To be determined?
Okay,
No,
so
Emma and Summer Rae.
Okay.
So
Team Bad and Blonde.
You forgot about the baby faces there, Natalya and stuff. Also have the one and only most loved person on the planet, Eva Marie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The faces have Eva Marie?
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's Total Divas.
It's because they're on Total Divas. She's on Total Divas, yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Total Divas versus non-Total Divas.
Versus Team Bad and Blonde. That is their actual team name.
I got you. All right. Whatever.
But yeah, that was one of the highlights of Raw, was Emma made a return to Raw. Oh, God. It wasn't me. Stop following me. Yeah, no. Emma made her
He's not
return.
happy about Eva Marie either.
No, sorry about that. I have a new dog, and apparently someone is in the hole. Whatevs. All right. So we've got Usos versus Dudleys, the Divas tag match, and then also the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that was promoted to be on the USA show. So expect that on the second hour. Maybe a good portion of that second hour. Who knows? But contestants for that already. Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, Big Show, Kane, Tyler Breeze, Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, Fandango, Damian Sandow, Darren Young, Connor Victor, Goldust, and R-Truth. So that's basically your pre-show. In the main card for WrestleMania 32, we have Kalisto versus Ryback for the U.S. Championship. The tag team titles are on the line as League of Nations goes after the New Day in a 4-on-3 handicap match. Jericho versus AJ Styles. Kevin Owens defends the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn, Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, Zack Ryder, and Sin Cara in a ladder match. Charlotte defends the Divas Championship against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Shane McMahon versus Undertaker. Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose in a no-hold-street fight. I'm sorry. Shane McMahon versus Undertaker is a Hell in a Cell match. Just noting. And then in the main event, like the main event, I would assume, I would imagine. Who knows, really? Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, we've got the card. What are you guys most looking forward to?
Match-wise, the two matches I'm most looking forward to are the Intercontinental Championship match and the Women's Championship on the NXT side. No, that's the Divas Championship. It's all. I'm sorry. It's listed right. I just looking at Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte going, this is NXT. No. Sorry. But those two matches are probably the ones, match-wise, I'm looking most forward to. Storyline-wise, it's Shane McMahon versus Undertaker. Because I want to see how they're going to dig out of this hole.
In every respect, it's Lesnar versus Ambrose for me. Still, that is the only match that has been built anywhere near properly. Even this week on Raw, on a show that was absolute garbage from top to bottom, this was still the one segment that actually stood out and was actually good. And they never laid hands on each other. They never even spoke. All Lesnar did was let Heyman do the talking. All Ambrose did was bring out his big red wagon and he started loading up stuff from under the ring. Never once looked at Lesnar and walked right on out. That's all you need.
That's all you do need. I agree. The wagon was hilarious. but it also brought the importance to the weapons. Paul Heyman did his thing, and I think without Heyman, that, Ambrose could talk, but I think you need it both ways. So that's the difference, isn't it? You've got two guys who can talk from either side of the match that can build it. That's the difference. You've got with Triple H, Roman, only one guy can talk properly. With Shane and Undertaker, Undertaker can talk great. Shane forgets his lines and says stupid things. I agree. Lesnar, Ambrose should be awesome. We're going to see a whole lot of suplexes, and Ambrose is going to be suplexed through a lot of things. I dare say there should be a lot of blood capsules going around for this one.
Unless Lesnar beats him to the punch and runs into the post again.
Well, he does. Yeah, well, that's a good point. Lesnar likes cutting himself. So, and by running into things. But, I would love to be more excited about the Divas Championship match, but the build towards it hasn't been good enough. It's sadly they ran out of steam, it seemed, a couple of weeks out. After watching a few Raw recaps, it seems like they've done the same sort of booking of matches leading up to the Go Home Raw. So I know the match is going to be great, but I wouldn't say I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited for these matches when they've already run through every single permutation of this match that they could already have.
Yeah, why don't they bring in, just Team Bad Girls and have them wrestle them, and then you could just have promos at the end or before or something, just something different. Or just, commentary. It doesn't have to be them all fighting each other 3 weeks leading out. It's just ruined it. Ric Flair is the only thing that's sort of saving those segments.
And to me, Ric Flair is not worth watching. So I admit that the storyline has been, it's been, you're right, they ran out of steam. But talent-wise in the ring, I'm really looking forward to that match.
Oh, yeah, they're going to tell a great wrestling story. It's going to be great in that sense. I hope that now, after all the build-up and all the interferences, it will just be those three girls out there and they can have their moment without Flair, because I think that would be a great way that Flair can go away. Charlotte's got a big enough rub to get the heat that she needed, and they had a good little chemistry going on, but I think now it should just be those three out there for that match, and hopefully they get time. Traditionally the Divas matches have been incredibly short. The Divas Championship now with the Revolution, you would hope that these guys get 15 minutes. That's what I'm hoping for, 15. I know it's not much, but I think that'll be enough for them to get the story across.
8 matches over 4 hours. They would have to get at least 15.
But you got to think of all the video packages and performances and all of that stuff that come through with it. Plus, you've got during the Mania pay-per-view, you're going to have that incredibly long-winded Hall of Fame inductee standing on the stage, all of that stuff. 8 matches. I think they only had 9 last year. I think I could be wrong, but
it's still 4 fucking hours.
But you've got a lot of big matches. Like the ladder match will go long. Shane McMahon Taker will go long. Lesnar Ambrose, that could be shorter. The heavyweight championship traditionally gets at least 20 minutes.
I do not foresee any of the main events going longer than 20 minutes.
Last year was 9 matches.
You would expect AJ to get 20, 25 minutes in Jericho because they're AJ and Jericho, and AJ can generally do a lot better with more time.
But Jericho
can't.
I know he's bad and he's nowhere near as good as he used to be, but he has been getting better with styles progressively over the matches they've done, I would say. So perhaps like a guy lifts for you guys for the Super Bowl, they lift and perform at another level at Mania. Let's hope for that, because AJ's got the goods, and Jericho, when he wants to or when he can, maybe from doing all this ring work, he's got a little bit fitter. They could go better. They both have the talent. Jericho might not have the fitness, but they do have the talent.
I wish his promo ability was getting better with each and every appearance he's been making.
Yeah, that's true. You're stupid. Sorry, that's.
I'm not a jackass. You're an ass. It's like his kids are writing his scripts for him.
I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
Armbar.
Backflip, and you're out of here.
All right. So let's go ahead and start getting into predictions. We'll start off with the Divas Tag Team match. Who you got, and do you like this match?
I cannot stand this match. I think this is a terrible match, and I've got Team Total Divas because Total Divas is still continuing.
Okay.
I'm going for Team Bad and Blonde because Emma. There's no other reason because there's no story behind this, so go Emma.
That is false. Lana and Brie have heat. I am predicting in favor of Team Total Divas, namely because I think Lana is going to cut and run and leave her teammates high and dry, and Brie is going to get a victory before she retires, and also Eva Marie.
Whew. Well, this is a tough match to predict. Yeah, I'm also going to go with Total Divas winning. With the Eva Marie addition to it, it seems like it needs to happen. Total Divas ratings have been slipping, so they probably want to stop that, and having them win a match might help that, but most likely not. But I'm with you, Sean. Emma, I really would like to see good things happen for Emma.
Emma and Marie.
No, Emma, really.
Emma.
So, again,
Fucking
if you're listening live in the Slack chat, there is a scoreboard, a little scorecard, so fill that out as you go. Also, we're going to be posting it, all over the place. fanstalkprowrestling.com. Check there first if you really would like to. It's going to be there in the show notes. But let's go ahead and get in the extras column for this match. We've got who makes the pin. So again, we've got a bunch of names here. Brie, Alicia, Paige, Eva Marie, and Natalia. Joe, you have them winning. So who gets the pin?
I'm going to go with Eva Marie. Just because.
Oh, God, no. They'd be so, no. Could you imagine how much people are going to hate that?
People are going to hate it anyway. It's a shit match. My second pick would have been Natalia just because they got to give her something, for Christ's sake. I don't know what else they're going to do with her. But, no, I'm going to go with Eva Marie because they're really trying to push her hard to get fans to like her. And if she's the one who wins the match, she also gets some cannon fodder to promo with. So she can be like, I made the pin at WrestleMania.
They are absolutely not pushing her as a face.
No, but they want to give her some heat. That's what I mean.
I'm totally.
So she's the one who wins. Like, oh my God, I'm totally undefeated at WrestleMania. Shut up, bitch. Get off, bitch.
I'm kind of thinking that she doesn't even finish the match. I'm thinking there's some kind of surprise there. Nikki comes back. I don't know. They painted themselves into a corner by making this team Total Divas because the only other option is Mandy, and God no, as unready as Eva Marie is for this, Mandy's even worse off. But why didn't they put Renee Young in this? Like, she's been making several appearances on that show, and I've seen a video clip of her doing a drop kick into a pool, and that looked good.
Yeah, she's not a wrestler. But Nick, who do you say?
When are we booking the guy who keeps RKOing his girlfriend in the pool? If doing a move into a pool is what's going to qualify you to be in a match.
That is the new WWE WrestleMania pre-show tryout criteria. How good you can do a drop kick into a pool. Emma is going to make the pin. I think they're going to move her over to WWE full time. So go Emma, because she deserves it, where Eva Marie deserves to stay in NXT Performance Center and not get on TV.
I would love to see Santino come back just to try and woo her and have her smack the shit out of her.
That'd be great.
Nick,
absolutely making the pin in this match.
Nick, who's getting the pin?
Brie.
Okay, I am going to say Eva Marie as well. All right, so the flip side. We'll start with you, Sean. Who is taking the pin from Total Divas?
Ooh, I'm going to go with Paige. Okay. Or Brie Bella. Oh, no, Brie Bella. Let's look in Brie Bella. Wrestlers generally go out on a loss. Not all the time, but most of the time. So let's say that.
All right, Joe and Nick, we've got Lana, Team Bad, Emma, and Summer Rae. Who takes the pin?
Summer Rae.
Summer Rae, because there's no justice.
Okay. I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to say Summer does take it. Okay, so the final item in this scorecard is how many moves does Eva Marie botch?
Yes. Yes.
Wouldn't a fairer question be how many moves doesn't she botch?
No, because all is the appropriate answer. I mean, I don't even think she can throw a forearm correctly.
I just need a number, Joe. Give me a number.
It's all of them. I don't think she. You know what? Let's go with 7.
7.
Say 7.
Okay, Sean.
I don't think she's going to be in the ring longer than to do her finisher, but we'll.
I mean, you've got a lot of divas in this match. I can't imagine this is going to go 10 minutes. This is probably going to go 5 minutes. So yeah, she's probably going to get
4.
Yeah, 4. Okay, Sean.
And if she gets in the ring with Brie, then Brie's going to end up with a neck injury.
That's not on the scorecard, so I can't give you bonus points for that. Nick,
I'll say 2.
ooh, are we going closest without going over, or are we getting exact?
I think exact equals a point. If you miss, you miss.
All right, I'm going to go with 3 then.
All right, then I'm going to revise to 5.
Coward.
Anyone else want to revise?
No.
I am confident in my choice.
I am confident I can make a decision and not change my mind.
All right, next match. We've got Usos versus the Dudleys. Who you got, Nick?
I'm going with Mark Henry because this is in Texas, and this is probably going to be his last Mania.
We're talking about Usos versus Dudleys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not anymore, we're not.
No, all right, Nick's pick for Usos versus Dudleys is Mark Henry.
This is like
Because
Harrison
Mark
level
is in Texas,
picks.
and Mark Henry's going to be in all the matches.
Yeah, this is Harrison level picks when he's not here.
I'm fucking around with my scorecard. Leave me alone. All right, Usos versus Dudleys.
Yeah.
Dudleys win.
Dudleys. Okay. Okay, let's just combine. We're going to combine the scorecard here too. So, Dudleys win and our tables involved.
Well,
Wait.
the
Let's get from
question
Nick
is,
first.
does somebody go through a table? It doesn't mean it has to. It's only in their confrontation. It doesn't have to be really involved through the match.
You know, this scorecard isn't like, it isn't written like a book. It just says, oh, I'm sorry. Will someone go through a table? I just wrote it down wrong. So, will someone go through a table? So,
Yes.
Nick.
Dudley's.
Nick,
win.
I'm looking for Nick's answer, Joe.
No.
The answer is yes.
Okay, thank you. Guys are dicks.
Do you,
Joe.
do you want to revise your answer?
I'm going to go with Joe. Joe, who you got? And will anyone go through a table?
I'm going to go with the Usos winning. I'm changing my pick from what I had written down. And yes, people will go through the table.
Sean?
I'm going Dudleys, and they will go through a tables. Now, we'll go back to Joe and just check if he wants to revise his answer.
You know what? You're a fucking dick. No, Usos.
Hey, man, we're just trying to cater for you. It's okay. Like, you don't need to attack me.
Who the
It's
fuck
okay.
is this guy? Just kidding.
I'm like the ghost of Christmas past. I only appear like once a year,
Like Lee.
pretty much.
Hey. Anybody
Who's
remember?
He's a dinosaur, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got,
What's
We've
your
got-
pick, Garvin?
as far as the live chat goes, we've got the Usos winning. We've got tables for show. I'm going to go with the Usos and yes, to the tables. Someone will go through a table. Now, the match that Nick could not wait to talk about, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We've got some things on the scorecard to talk about. So who is the final 4 and who is the first eliminated? So I know Nick is so ready to go ahead and talk about this. Joe, who you got? Final 4, winner, and who's the first eliminated?
Final 4, I'm going Mark Henry, Kane, Big Show, and I'm going to go Swagger. The winner is going to be Kane. What was the last question?
Who is going to be the first eliminated?
First eliminated, I am going with Bo Dallas.
Sean.
I have read on dirt sheets that post-Mania, Darren Young's going to be getting a push, so I'm going completely left field and going for Darren Young. It's sad. I don't know why. You guys might be able to shed some light. What happened to Sandow after the Mizdow and all that crap? Because he was so over with the Mizdow thing. But hey, final four, I'm going to say will be the three big guys. So Kane, Big Show, and Mark Henry and Darren Young.
All right, so Mark Henry wins.
Wait. Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, and who?
Darren Young.
Darren. Okay. Go ahead, Nick.
Mark Henry wins. R-Truth is up first, and maybe that will spark some remorse in Goldust, and they will finally unite as the Golden Truth after Mania. And my final four is Mark Henry, Big Show, Kane, and Damian Sandow.
Sean, real quick, did you have a first eliminated?
I did not.
You do that?
Let's go with Bo.
Okay. So, good all around. Let's go check out the live chat. Live chat is saying Mark Henry, Kane, Big Show. It seems like a lot of people are agreeing that's going to be the final four.
You know what? Live chat raises a good point. I think the Social Outcasts will be the first to be eliminated.
Now that is a good thing a good idea because we've got two picks for Bo. I cannot say
unless they all get eliminated in one move. That won't count.
It would be hard, yeah. But
it's a bold prediction.
Yeah. I am going to go with Heath Slater though as my first eliminated. My final four. I think you kind of have to go with what everyone else is saying. Mark Henry, Kane, Big Show. However, my winner is going to be Tyler Breeze.
That's adorable.
It's so cute.
Right?
It's so cute.
I think it'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting.
Okay. I'll put a wager on how wrong you are on this, Garvin.
I don't think Garvin's far off the mark. I think he's in the wrong year. I think they're going to use this because they've already done Big Show. So I think Kane and Mark Henry are your two top runners. I think once those guys have won it, I think then they're going to give it to a smaller guy.
Well, they gave it to Cesaro. He's kind of a smaller guy,
but he's a power guy.
Sure.
I don't see Prince Pretty as being a power guy.
No.
How confident in your pick are you, Garvin?
Oh, pretty fucking awesomely confident.
Okay. Let's do this. If Tyler Breeze wins it, I will eat a ghost pepper and record it, and for everyone to laugh at me doing it. And if he doesn't win, you eat a ghost pepper.
A ghost pepper?
No. If he doesn't win, that's fine. But if your pick, if your pick wins, then he's got to eat it or something.
Let's do it that way. So if my pick
doesn't win, you eat a ghost pepper. If his pick wins, you eat a ghost pepper. If your pick wins, he eats a ghost pepper. If neither of your picks wins, you both eat ghost peppers.
All right.
Yeah, that's
fuck
fine.
you not eating a ghost pepper. I'm not getting involved in this shit.
We'll do a Google Hangout for this, so we can get that side by side view that all the ladies love, and put that up on the YouTube channel.
It's on.
Gentlemen,
sounds good.
The squared circle of trust bears witness to this agreement.
Yes. All right, we'll do that. On. I'm okay. I'll do that.
Shit just got real.
Yeah, B-Megs is actually trying to say we should just go a Hanna-Barbera pepper. Like, I get your point of sympathy, but the thing is, I don't know if you guys know how hot ghost peppers are, but a jalapeno pepper is 8,000 Scoville units. Hanna-Barbera is 250,000 Scoville units.
Habanero, just for those who don't understand the accent.
Is it wrapped in aluminum or aluminium?
Aluminium.
Okay.
Aluminum, what the fuck?
America, bitch.
America.
Hey, real quick, we have to move on, but quick aside, I just witnessed a minivan pull out and squeal its tires so that smoke, whatever that's called. What is that called?
Burnout?
Okay.
Burnout, yeah. Minivan doing a burnout here in Cleveland. That's how we roll. All right, let's move on. U.S. Championship, Kalisto versus Ryback. And the extra points are, does anyone care? And does Ryback injure Kalisto? So keep that in mind when you're talking about this match. So Joe, who you got? Ryback versus Kalisto for the U.S. Championship.
I've got Ryback. Only because they're really trying to do something with him, and if Kalisto, and they haven't really done a whole lot with Kalisto with it. I mean, he's done some matches, but I don't think they've really pushed it terribly hard. So I think Ryback's going to take the U.S. title.
Does anyone care?
Not really.
Okay.
They don't. Really...
What's the story? I'm bigger than you. That's the story. That's the entire story. Kalisto is going to win, so Ryback can go back and try and steal someone else's gimmick. I hate Ryback. What is he doing? No. I don't want to go on another Ryback hate rant because that's generally what I do every time I get on this show. So let's just say Kalisto wins. Kalisto doesn't get injured because they're only going to get 2 minutes, so the opportunity for Kalisto to get injured is small.
I think Ryback wins this match. I don't think many people care.
No. It was, does anyone care?
Well, I clearly can't say nobody cares because I'm looking at the live chat and people are saying they do care. Well, I think they're in the minority. And that hurts. Because a Kalisto match for a title should absolutely be inspiring people to give all of the fucks.
Yeah.
But it's Ryback, and he's dumb as fuck. So it's really hard to care.
Right, and
also,
I think
Ryback
this
will hurt Kalisto because, again, dumb as fuck.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought, or at least I think this is mainly like, will there be much of a crowd reaction that is actually into the match versus just chanting Goldberg or whatever.
Oh, absolutely not.
The crowd will put themselves over because they don't want to put the match over. They'll start chanting CM Punk and things like that. It's just going to be a snore fest. The actual match. It'll be really funny hearing the crowd, how they react to themselves. Like, that'll be more entertaining watching what the crowd does to entertain themselves while this happens.
There will be pops for individual spots. I guarantee that because it is Kalisto. But throughout the show, no, there's not going to be much of a crowd reaction. And this is probably going to be the first match on the actual card. So
Ooh, I don't know about that.
That's kind of bad.
I don't know about that.
No. I was listening to a Nemesis show. I won't say the name because then everyone will hate me. Last night, so not very long ago, and apparently the Battle Royal has been moved to the main card, and the Ryback Kalisto match is on the pre.
No, because they promoted it. They promoted that it was going to be the USA match, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Your source is dumb as fuck.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Fuck that guy, whoever it is.
I'm just saying that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but if it,
fuck that wanker.
Okay, you can't say wanker. You can't say wanker because you're American.
Hey,
wanker is ours. Yeah, we started wanker.
Wanker. Y'all gonna get that wanker?
I'm not Southern.
You can't appropriate my accent, you son of a bitch.
Sean, does Ryback injure Kalisto?
No, I don't think so because they're not going to get much time. So no.
Joe, does Ryback injure Kalisto?
Of course he does. It's Ryback.
Okay.
How else do you think he gets a title? He breaks somebody.
Yeah. All right. So from the live chat,
but then at least he'll get a Z-Pack, and then he should be good.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get the 5-minute video of his ass on YouTube, like a little later on.
Over under on Ryback taking this Salida del Sol after this match.
Because he's going to win.
I think he will counter that move. What is that move again? Oh, right. It's like a flying the bulldog, right? Kind of thing.
It's kind of like a flying
face crusher.
The face busters.
I gotcha. I think Ryback will counter that and turn it somehow into a powerbomb.
Ryback counters it just by chucking him into the turnbuckle like a lawn dart.
Yeah. All right. So live chat is basically behind Ryback. Most are saying no injury. Hashtag Ryback matches matter. I'm going to also go, my pick is going to be Ryback. I do care about this match because I do like Ryback. And I think it's time for them to finally, do something with him productive. And I think having a title on him would do just that if they can do it properly. We'll see. And I'm going to say no, he is not going to injure, Kalisto. As far as does anyone care outside of me and some of the people in the live chat, generally speaking, I'm going to say yes. I think there will be some people involved in the match, probably starting about halfway through. That's my pick. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next match. The next match we have Jericho. No. Let's go to Jericho versus AJ Styles. And
now let's go to League of Nations versus AJ.
Jericho versus AJ Styles, and the extra here on the scorecard is, will it be a pin, submission, or disqualification? So we'll start with Sean. Who you got, and will it be a pin, submission, or disqualification?
It will be a pin, and it will go to AJ Styles after he does the Styles Clash.
Yep, I'm going to essentially agree. I think this is when we actually see the Clash, Styles, pin, 1, 2, 3. Yep.
AJ Styles wins. It is via pinfall. I'm guessing it's going to be via Styles Clash, but I kind of want him to bring out another move. I really want to see him do the hollow point at some point, but it's a pile driver, so that is absolutely not going to happen. Since he has been unveiling new offense every now and again when it counts, I sort of wonder if this is when he breaks out the spiral tap.
Yes, that's being talked about in the live chat as well.
But yeah, it's via pinfall.
It seems with the Styles Clash like they're letting him do it, but it's kind of like the Tombstone, like they don't use it all the time, and so it makes it more special. So hopefully they keep that going. So being Mania, you'd think he would use it, because it is a little bit more dangerous, the Styles Clash, than other moves. So
AJ used it on Curtis Axel on a SmackDown.
But have you seen him use it since?
Did he use it? Damn.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I thought they were protecting it because they were like teasing it, and then it just happened. It was a bit sad, but perhaps they're just going to protect it and not use it very often, which is cool. I hope he wins by it, because it means the Styles Clash is one of those things that you can't kick out of, sort of thing.
Yeah, but if they just make his finisher the phenomenal forearm, granted it's awesome the way he hits it, but it's still a fucking forearm. That just seems underwhelming. That seems underwhelming compared to the rest of his arsenal.
Yeah.
Live chat is all saying it will be a pin. I'm also going to say it's a pin, and I am going as well with AJ Styles. So let's move on.
Factoid.
What?
Apparently, AJ did hit Jericho with a Styles Clash before, and Jericho kicked out.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
SmackDown.
no, it is true. Yeah, it was
Probably
the
was
SmackDown
SmackDown.
match. It was the good SmackDown match they did.
Okay. I thought it was.
Oh,
That's
that's
not.
right. Well, that ruins my idea, but it should be AJ by pin. I don't see him winning with the what do they call his submission?
The calf crusher.
Yeah, there you go. Which
Yeah,
is
he
a
already
cool
beat
move.
Jericho
but
with that at Roadblock.
There's going to be a heap of false finishes, though. I think we can all agree on that.
So,
Yeah.
real quick aside. Do you guys now, because this is how I feel, at least as of like this last year or so, but doesn't it seem like a really weak finish when someone taps out now? Like, have they totally undersold the importance of submission matches? Because it seems like as soon as someone gets in a submission, they either struggle and get out of it, or they just tap out right away.
Yeah, I think I can go with that thought, because I think you're right. I think the art of the submission though has been weakened over time. So everybody's got one. I think when it's executed poorly, like when Cena would put somebody in the STFU or the whatever the fuck he called it later on.
The STF.
Well, then the SDF. Let's see.
Well, it used to be STFU.
Right.
Back when he was edgy, you know.
Yeah. When the jorts ran supreme, but just when they're executed poorly, it sucks. And you look at it and go, I can see how it'd be so easy to get out of that. And then somebody taps, and you're like, what the fuck?
The live chat's disagreeing. Specifically, Beanbags is saying the quick tap logically makes sense. Generally no one wants to be in a submission. It just seems like, I don't know, it just doesn't carry that same story that I feel like it used to with guys like Angle, with guys like Benoit,
but let's go to some iconic submission guys. So like Bret Hart and
Bret Hart's
Ric Flair, right?
Well, even Shawn Michaels when he was using his too.
It's all about the tease of trying to get them in the submission.
Yeah.
And they don't do that anymore. Like, that build of trying, like with the sharpshooter, trying to get them over from Bret Hart. Like, it was epic. Or with Sting with the Deathlock. Like, the same thing. It would be an epic thing, and then the commentary would sell it really well, going, oh my God, he's finally got it in. And then it's that initial sell to get them in the move. And they don't do that anymore. It's more like a quick into that spot, and it's generally where that they're having a breather and gathering for their next couple of moves.
Yeah, I think there's two names that come to mind that really work towards that submission still. One is Charlotte, even though I dislike her figure 4 or figure 8 thing. But also Del Rio I thought was pretty good at it when he was going for the armbar every time.
Yeah, I'll agree with Del Rio. I won't agree with the Charlotte. But like there's no struggle, if you get it in. Like Jericho was really good at it as well with the line tamer / the walls, like getting them over and into that move because you knew they were going to tap if they got into the move. But that doesn't happen anymore. So yeah, I'll agree that the importance isn't there because no one knows how to sell it properly anymore.
Well, Jericho can't do the proper walls of Jericho to make somebody submit. So
I don't necessarily agree with this idea that submissions aren't important anymore. It's the image of that is certainly helped by the fact that there aren't really submission specialists anymore in the WWE. Like you've got people that did go to submission first, like Del Rio used to, and that used to be Rusev's thing back when he was actually still doing singles matches and winning singles matches. But nobody is a submission specialist. Everybody has a submission because everybody's trying to be a well-rounded athlete. And, that kind of works for some people just because, it's who they are or they have something else going for them. But with that said, I think submissions are still being handled reasonably well because in the moments when they really matter, most of the time they are pretty good about selling the idea that locking a submission in with certain people is a death knell. Like when Becky Lynch actually locks in the disarmer and there's nobody in there to distract her and make her break it up, you're not getting out of that shit. It's the same way with Sasha Banks in the bake statement. It's almost the same with the figure 8. The exception is somebody like Natalya, where you've got something like Bret Hart taught her how to get out of a figure 4, or Ric Flair taught Charlotte how to get out of a sharpshooter. There are certain people that still manage to sell that, like AJ Styles in the calf crusher. So I don't agree with the premise that submissions are no longer as important as they used to be. It's just the presentation has changed by necessity.
Yeah, and I think it's also, and this is being talked about in the live chat as well. By the way, you can join us in the live chat, all Squared Circle of Trust members. All you got to do is subscribe through our Patreon, and you can join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. But they're talking about the idea of, maybe it's a commentary thing, because I do look at, TNA with Drew Galloway. Drew Galloway going after his submission in the match against Angle. That worked really well. You also look at Lucha Underground, specifically with Pentagon Jr. That is where it's being told well, both in the ring and on commentary. And that's just something that WWE does not do well. NXT does, for sure. But WWE proper does not.
Yep, absolutely.
So all right, let's go into the next match. League of Nations versus New Day. And here is the extras. We'll go for the picks first, and then extras. Your extra for this match is, will there be a fourth man for the New Day? And you can say nobody. And will Francesca 2 survive the match? So we'll start with you, Nick. Who wins? Will there be a fourth man? And will Francesca 2 survive?
I'm giving the win to the League of Booty. Eventually, they are going to win at some point. I think it's incredibly stupid that they're fighting for dominance, but they took the tag titles off the table. But the New Day is going into this thing with a fourth member. That is Francesca 2, and I predict that, sadly, she will die in that ring.
See, I think New Day's going to win this. I don't think the League of Nations going to, just because it's incredibly weak, in my opinion. I don't think the League of Nations has been built well. I mean, you might as well just call them what they really are, the Mean Street Posse of sorts. They're really coming across as a bunch of jobbers. I can't take Del Rio seriously. Wade Barrett, to me, is the best one out of the bunch, and it's just he's been injured for so long. Sheamus, he's lost any input for me, and I mean Rusev's my number 2. He's the only other guy who can actually do something. So, but New Day's running on all 4 cylinders. Their merchandise is selling like hotcakes, and they're fantastic. I don't think Francesca 2 is going to die. I don't think there's going to be a fourth living member. I don't think Francesca 2 lives unless you're going to count Xavier breathing life into her, putting his lips on her mouthpiece and just blowing. Oh. But
is this still a wrestling preview?
Hey, at least we're not hawking dildos. But yeah, no. But no, New Day wins. No fourth member. No fourth living member. No wrestler.
Yeah, look, I tend to agree. I think New Day, they're being pushed to the moon. League of Nations. Well, Wade Barrett's given notice from every report I've seen online that to end at the end of his contract. So the League of Nations aren't going anywhere. Definitely not up. It's just something for those guys to do because they have nothing for them, which is sad. Because individually, those guys can be good if they're booked well. Anyway, fourth member, I would tend to say no, but the only reason I might steer away from that somehow is that The Rock is meant to be at Mania, yet no one knows what he's doing, and nothing's been announced. So The Rock will be somewhere. If it's just an intro promo like he did at 30 with Stone Cold, they might do that again or something like that. I don't know, but I tend to say no. But New Day are hot. This is their full conversion, the ending conversion to their babyface turn. So, yeah, go New Day.
All right, so there is some discrepancy in whether or not this will be a title match. It's kind of oddly worded on the WWE.com site. It's to decide the tag team supremacy, which to me means title match.
Titles are not on the line.
I know. I have it written down as title match, but Wikipedia says it's just a 4-on-3. So, okay, whatever. I'm going to go with League of Nations. I'm going to say that Francesca does not survive. And, yes, Francesca is the fourth.
Yeah, Francesca does survive I forgot to add that.
And you said The Rock was the fourth man?
No, I said if anyone, it would be The Rock. Who else would?
Okay, well, say it. Is the fourth man The Rock? Or is the fourth man nobody?
The fourth man is Michael P.S. Hayes.
The fourth members are the Freebirds. There you go.
All right. With that, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. But what you're about to hear is what you're missing by not being a member of the Squared Circle of Trust. Be right back. Today's episode of the Squared Circle of Trust, we are going to play the botchspot.com Road to WrestleMania 32 board game.
I got a 5.
All right.
And Jeff
to roll off, ladies and gentlemen.
So go.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead, Sean.
Okay, all right, here we go, guys.
Yeah! Oh! All right. And here's mine.
6.
I got a 3.
You got it.
So we'll go Sean, then me,
Garvin.
then Joe, then Nick.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4. Injury. Go back a space.
3.
Oh, you lose a turn now. Karma.
Nope. Nick and I are both here.
Nothing
No,
happens.
Karma as retired.
I don't know about that. I don't think that's official.
Okay. 4 for
1,
me.
2, 3, 4. So, Taker no shows Raw. Go back 2 spaces. Oh.
I'm playing a Raw replay card.
Okay.
Okay, so you go back. You don't get to move on that.
Yeah, go ahead, reroll.
Yeah. Damn it! How about this? we have our wager going on for the Battle Royal, Garvin. The loser also has to eat a pepper with us. If I win, which was my pick, was Darren Young, Garvin has to eat a pepper. And then if same thing for Garvin, his pick was Tyler Breeze, then I have to eat the pepper.
It's only fair. It's only fair that if Joe loses this, that he has to, like, if he is the final loser in this, that he has to also eat a ghost pepper at the same time. And we're back. So far we have reviewed pretty much the pre-show, the U.S. Championship match, the match for tag team supremacy, not necessarily for the tag team titles, even though they seem to go 1-1, or, whatever that is. Anyways, Jericho and AJ Styles were picked as well, so let's go into the meat of WrestleMania 32. We have the Intercontinental Championship on the line as Kevin Owens defends against Sami Zayn, Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, and Zack Ryder and Sin Cara. It's a ladder match. So, who you got?
Well, I would love to say that Zack Ryder would be my pick, but unfortunately, it's not. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has been running on all cylinders. Everything he's been doing has been gold. He is like one of the best heels the WWE has to work with right now. And he could run a clinic. He's doing that well. He really knows how to spin it up, and he's fantastic. So yeah, I got to go with Kevin Owens winning this thing.
Way to go, Joe! Just burying the future of the WWE.
It could be worse. It could be like fucking anybody else in here. Yeah.
I am with you, though. I think Kevin Owens wins. I don't see a scenario where he wouldn't, not in a schmoz fest like this. If Sami Zayn does ever win the IC title from Owens, it's going to be a singles match.
See, I'm going to argue with that because I think Owens needs a program for the pay-per-view after Mania, which I don't even know what it is. But
Extreme
you would
Rules.
think Extreme Rules. There you go. So you could have Sami Zayn win it in this format. Kevin Owens gets his rematch at Extreme Rules, and they've got a program moving forward. And Sami Zayn being new on the WWE roster, the belt could be good for him, but overall it'd be better to send it back to Owens in a month's time. I'm happy with that. So go Sami Zayn. Ole, ole, ole.
All right, I guess that's me now. I am going to go with Kevin Owens retaining. And that's it. That's pretty much it. We've got some extras here on the scorecard. Again, you can check out this scorecard. We pulled it off of Reddit. Thank you to Stuart Deckert for posting it in the Slack chat earlier this week. It'll be on fanstalkprowrestling.com in the show notes as well. But here's the extras for this match. First to hang from the titles.
Ooh, first
Ryder.
to hang from the. See, and I'm going to go Ziggler.
Yeah, so am I.
Ziggler's going to be too busy flying over turnbuckles.
And Nick, who was the name that you threw out there?
Ryder. Like, it's weird because he's actually getting a semi-push out of this. So I think they
Even
are
though you
going
got
to
buried
tease.
by Jericho.
Jericho.
But he did win over. He did win
Oh my
over
God,
Jericho.
won. He won, so he couldn't have been buried. But Ryder is actually being cast somewhat seriously as somebody that could win this thing. So I think there's going to be a real hard tease in this match.
Maybe the Hype Bros come together so Ryder can win. No,
I have to
What,
imagine
then
that
Mojo fucks him over somehow? Like,
Well, I have to.
No.
imagine
I think
that
Mojo helps
Hype
it.
is getting this sort of push because the Hype Bros are going to be a thing on the main roster pretty soon.
I hope not, but okay.
Well, Enzo and Cass is where I'm hoping something will happen, but that's probably post-Mania.
Live chat for this match. We have Kevin Owens, Miz as winners, and live chat is saying no one is going to hang from the title. I'm going to go with that as well. I'm going to say no.
I was really hoping you were going to say it was to be KO.
I'm going to say no one goes for that spot this time.
So they're not going to let Sin Cara do it.
No.
He'll kill someone.
No, the ring
But-
would fly to the ceiling. It would be all kinds of crazy.
But Sin Cara is definitely eligible for this next extra. and that is who will be the first one to take a ladder spot.
A ladder bump, to be
Bump.
specific.
Yes, sorry, bump.
I'm guessing Ziggler. He's got to hold on to that label of top salesman.
I'm going to go with Stardust.
Sean?
I'm going to go with Owens.
Okay. And as soon as the bell rings, will Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn go right into a big scrap fight together?
No, Owens is going to vacate the ring.
Owens is going to avoid the fight like the plague until everyone's hurt, and then he'll come in. He's just going to walk around the ring and then, like, cheap shot and get lots of heat, which he's good at. So, yeah. No, he's not going to fight anyone straight away. He's running.
Nick?
I said no.
Okay. I'm going to go with
Owens
yes.
is going to duck Zayn for a good long while.
I'm going to say yes, it's going to happen as soon as the bell rings, but shortly after it starts, yes, Kevin Owens will escape the ring. All right, next matchup, we have the Divas Championship on the line as Charlotte defends against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. The extras in this match are: who takes the fall? Will the women's title be renamed? And will Ric Flair interfere?
Well, okay. So just to clarify, we're talking at Mania. So if the renaming doesn't happen at Mania, it doesn't count.
Renaming the women's title at Mania.
Okay. Who's going to win? It's going to be Sasha Banks who's taking the pin. I'm going with Charlotte. I think Becky Lynch will end up being knocked off to the side. And let me scroll back down to grab the renaming the women's title at WrestleMania. No. Ric Flair interference. Yes.
Okay. Nick?
I pretty much second. I was just going to say
fine.
to make it
Go
easy.
ahead.
I second all of that apart from Ric Flair interfering. I'm hoping that Rick stays out the back for this one, and these girls can have their WrestleMania moment.
I think Rick's going to get involved, get caught, and be kicked out. But yes, he will interfere at some point.
I am forecasting a win for Becky Lynch. Charlotte takes that pin. Flair, I think he's going to be prevented from coming to ringside in the first place. And a women's title on the main roster? No.
Well, I don't necessarily totally object to the idea that the title will be renamed, but I think if it's going to be renamed, it's not going to be at Mania. It's going to be the next night on Raw, or it'll be later on in the next pay-per-view cycle. I can't imagine that they would make that change right then, because who is making that change? Becky? Sasha? I don't know. I mean, I could see Natalya. I think she has the credibility to make that kind of name change. Paige might,
No.
but not Sasha or Becky.
None of them have the credibility that these three women have right now.
Well, I'm just saying longevity-wise.
Exactly. Natalya is all but absent from the TV product. She's only relevant now because it's WrestleMania season and they put everybody on the card. As sad as it is to say. And the same is kind of becoming true for Paige. She's been very sparse.
Okay. Real quick, I'm going to finish off my picks. Sorry, Sean. I have Sasha winning. I'm going to have Sasha pin Becky Lynch, and Flair will interfere. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. Do you think they'll just keep it? Sadly, I don't want it to be as the Divas Championship because of Total Divas. That's the sort of the tie-in why it's still a Divas Championship. Because that's the only reason I can think why it'll stay as. Like, if they were to change it, it'll be the Raw after. I agree with that, Garvin. But with Total Divas still getting ratings, still being a viable show, I think they're going to keep the Divas title. Maybe they'll redesign it and change the look of it, but I think it'll still stay as the Divas Championship.
Okay, we do have picks in the live chat for Flair interfering, no renaming of the title, and we also have Charlotte retain with Sasha taking the fall, and Charlotte retaining via submission by making Becky tap out. Okay, Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. If Shane wins, he takes control over Raw. If Undertaker loses, he loses his legacy. This is his last WrestleMania match, correct? I think that's what was said.
That is a stipulation that Vince cannot enforce if Shane wins.
True.
By the way.
And, well, it's WrestleMania, though. I mean, is Shane going to be the Raw GM for the next year?
Vince already established that if you have control of Raw, you control the company.
Ah, there you go. Well, okay. But if Shane loses, he is written out of the family will. He gives up whatever he has that is Vince's and never seen again kind of thing. So, who you got, Joe?
Oh, man, this one's tough. I'm going with Taker. Because it's just not believable that Shane can beat Taker. If nobody's beaten Taker and then Lesnar does it, Lesnar at least is credible. Lesnar's the beast. Lesnar's been a machine. Lesnar's had the UFC championship. He's a bona fide athlete in many walks of life here. Shane McMahon, a guy who hasn't even been around the company for 7 years, is what they said. I have a very hard time believing he's going to win. He'll make a good show of it, but yeah, no, he loses, he has to give up everything and somehow gets control of SmackDown.
Remind me, how long was Stephanie off of TV before she came back? I know she's always been with the company, but how long was she off of TV?
It was only a few years, I think.
It wasn't close to 7. It was less than that. I have no idea.
Yeah, it was less than that. Okay. Shane left. She was on TV for a long time, or at least a couple years after Shane left.
I think they might actually do like a catharsis, a very nice sort of narrative morality end to this match. I think Shane will be selling his ass off. He'll be having his ass beat, and then Vince will realize that the blood of Shane is on his hands and therefore cost Taker the match. So I'm going with Shane. That would be a nice end to the story, and then potentially a brand split where Vince goes to SmackDown, and then you could have Triple H and Stephanie go down to NXT, and then you have a full brand split. That was the theory I had. But I think, Shane wins through that family narrative of, they all come together because Shane's, getting destroyed in Hell in a Cell, which is believable. Yeah. And then Vince does something to interfere in that level.
Okay. Well, it's not in the extras. Do we get a Linda McMahon appearance?
No, that's not in the extras. We'll get to that in a second. I'm curious though, because I just want to verify this is tying into your theory that it's not just a brand split as far as Raw and SmackDown. It's going to be a brand split as far as Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to clarify, make sure that was still a thing. Nick, you gave your answer as well?
No, Shane is going to win. I think it's a case where Vince screws Vince and he pushes Taker too far, and Taker either leaves himself open for a pin by Shane or Taker just walks away after tombstoning Vince. And of course, Vince is going to interfere in the match. And of course, Shane will dive off the cell, even though he has absolutely no business doing so. We saw exactly why on Raw.
Can I clarify something? Are you suggesting that a Hell in a Cell match is going to end in a countout?
A no contest it would be, because there's no countouts in Hell in a Cell.
Right.
I am suggesting that Shane is the last man standing because Taker decides to go sit down backstage.
Oh, it's a last man standing Hell in a Cell match. I got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe it's the finger poke of death, like Kevin Nash.
Well, when they raised the cage about 2 feet just so somebody could get in there, Kevin Nash wins.
Yeah, when they raise the cage and Taker goes out to go after Vince, when he tries to come back in, he's going to get impaled on one of those spikes, and then it's all over from there.
All right, so extras, and again, extras on the scorecard are worth 2 points apiece. That might have been the first time I've said that, but that's what they are. The extras for this match. Who will interfere? And you can go ahead and say nobody if no one will interfere.
We're going to get a Vince-led interference.
All right. Well, we'll start with Vince. I think if Vince comes out, that's interference, regardless if he's sending other people in.
Right. I think he's going to send other people in, but I think it's going to be under Vince rule. So
Okay.
I think Vince will be sitting at ringside for the match, like next to the commentary, on a little swivel chair.
All right. So who
Yeah,
interferes?
he kind of
then?
has to be.
Who interferes then? Sean.
I don't think it'll be. There's no one I could think that is credible to who's been involved any way, shape, or form with Vince directly. So I'm going to say Vince.
Yeah, nobody else is going to be getting involved in this match. It's purely restricted to Vince and his bitches. So it's just going to be Vince interfering.
Okay. Let's see what the live chat has to say. I'm going to ignore you, beanbags, because I don't think you're taking this very seriously. We have some no interferences, and really that was mostly it. Also, my pick for the interference is actually going to go to Randy Orton.
On whose behalf?
Shane's. To get rid of the authority.
What about Cena? Like this, Cena has been teasing on Twitter a lot of like his theme music, sheet music because he always has an elaborate entrance, all that sort of stuff. Could we be looking at another year-long build-up for Cena versus Taker?
I could actually see that because he only said he will not be competing at Mania. That is actually very likely.
Like, if you look at his Twitter feed, he posted a picture of, it said WrestleMania at the top and some sheet music, which, if you can read music, it was a little bit of his trumpet thing, the do-do-do-do. So, yeah, I would really think that's possible because he's been so anti the authority the whole time, fighting against it. Maybe that's something. It's a thought, and I think they've been touch and go with it.
I'm very confused here. Are we all changing our picks from Vince to Cena, or
no?
Are you just
adding Cena?
Adding Cena.
Okay.
I think it'll be both Vince and Cena.
Vince first. Vince will be the first.
Yeah, because that's what we're okay.
I just want to make sure we're not all changing our answers and
no, I just totally forgot about it. So guys, feel free to branch off this, but it'll be Vince will see that Shane is about to win. He will interfere, and it looks like it's all done. Cena's music hits. He comes in and changes the game so Shane can win.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So, Nick, you alluded to this. You said that he was going to, this is one of the extras, and that is, will Shane take a dive off of the cell? It doesn't say off the top of the cell, just says off the cell. So it could be like that Dean Ambrose, move where he just fell off the side of the cell. So, will Shane take a dive off the cell, Joe?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
And Nick, you already said yes?
Yeah.
Nick.
Okay. I'm going to go with no. It seems obvious,
What?
but I'm going to say no. We can't all have the same answers, guys.
Yes, we can.
That is the same answer as far as what Shane should be doing, but it is not the likely answer. You're a crazy person.
Okay. All right. Let's move on then to Ambrose versus Lesnar, the match that pretty much everyone is going to be watching WrestleMania 32 for. The rest of it is whatever, but this is the match. Ambrose versus Lesnar. The extras for 2 points will it end in a pin or submission? So, Joe, who you got? And obviously I think you said you like this match, and will it end in a pin or submission?
No, I didn't say I liked this match.
You should have.
No, I actually, this is one of the matches that I'm like, I don't really give a shit about this match. I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose because it's about time Brock Lesnar lost. As far as the extras go,
You mean since he was low blowed by Undertaker?
right. It's been a while, like I said. So, I'm pin or submission. No, Lesnar's not going to get up because Ambrose will end up hitting him with so much crap that he's picked up from all the other people. I can't wait for him to use the fucking chainsaw. Let's do that.
Chainsaw to the face.
But,
I figured that Lesnar is going to be pinning Ambrose here. I think this is going to continue on to Extreme Rules, and in no way does it make sense for Ambrose to go over in that scenario. especially via submission. But Ambrose is the man that will not die. You cannot break Iron Dean Ambrose, so there will be no submission. Lesnar's just going to pin him after beating the unholy shit out of him. And then we're going to get an I Quit match at Extreme Rules. Also, to address a point being raised in the live chat, there are no rules, there are no holds barred in this street fight. Ambrose can use a chainsaw. Whether he will is the question, but he can.
He'll turn it on and that'll be it. You'll hear it revving, it'll make the noise, and that'll be as far as it goes.
He has been told by Mick Foley to dig into the deepest, darkest recesses of his past for this match, and those deepest, darkest recesses are CZW.
Sure, and Dean Ambrose is crazy. John Moxley is crazy. But Lesnar is, to keep his mystique, and because he'll probably disappear for a while with his whole limited appearances thing, it's good for him to win. I think you keep him strong, you keep him the mystique of Lesnar, and he can actually go away. I think less of we see of Lesnar moving forward towards what SummerSlam is a good thing. So go Lesnar. I think it'll be by knockout. I think because Dean Ambrose is always around, I don't think it'll be a pin. I think it'll be a knockout sort of scenario.
Okay, well, that's not really an answer here in the extras, but I'll give it to you. I'll write it down there. All right, I am also going to go with Brock Lesnar. I'm going to go with a pin. And let's take a look at what the live chat is talking about. Lesnar will destroy Dean Ambrose. Lesnar pins Ambrose. Ambrose wins by pin. So yeah, it seems kind of split overall. Also, Diva Jill's thrown out the option of they're going to beat each other to a point where neither can continue, and it's a draw. I've never heard of a street fight ending in a draw, but it's WrestleMania. Anything can happen.
Remember the last man standing match between Cena and Ryback where that shit just went to a no contest.
Don't remind me of that match. Okay? All right. And that leads us to the main event, WrestleMania 32's main event. Triple H defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns. Who you got, Joe?
Who do I got? Come on, bitches. I've got Roman Reigns.
Okay.
They've been building this story for quite a while, and it's his time. Yeah.
Well, so let's.
I couldn't remember how Triple H's old theme used to go, so sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's his time.
My time.
Terrorizing.
Whatever. Anyways, some extras here for 2 points apiece. Will there be interference, and by whom? And will it last 20 minutes? And when we're talking the match itself, not Triple H's 10-minute walk down to the ramp, but or walk down to the ring, but from bell to bell, 20 minutes. Will last that long. So will there be interference, and by whom, and will it last 20 minutes?
Point of order, according to the scorecard, the question is just, will there be interference? By whom?
You're correct. You're correct. Points. This is different than the other ones. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not look at the scorecard and look at what I wrote down, but I should just look at the scorecard. So will there be interference, yes or no? And will it be 20-minute match? Joe, still on you.
Will there be interference? Yes, I'm going to say so. Over 20 minutes. I'm going to take the probably the least picked answer and say yes. I think it's going to go over 20 minutes.
Nick, who you got? Will there be interference, and will it be a 20-minute match or more?
They're going to cart Roman Reigns out and then bring him back 20 minutes later.
I am predicting that the WWE steers into the skid and Triple H will retain because there is no God. Of course there will be interference, and of course it will go over 20 minutes.
I personally think that Reigns is going to win. I think that they made this plan a long time ago, and they're finally getting to stick to it. I think that it will lead to interference. I think it will also lead to Reigns heel turning because they might finally switch onto it. And having a strong heel champ like Reigns sets it up for Rollins to return in a couple of months. So I'm going to say Roman Reigns wins. And so because Rollins is going to return as a top babyface, he can't not. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm praying to the wrestling gods, aka pleading to Vince to let that happen so it can build to something good in the future, because it's a train wreck and they need to just prepare for the next thing rather than trying to fix it as it is, because that's what's been screwing them over. Realize that they're in a shit situation, acknowledge it, and move forward.
Can we just give Kevin Owens all the titles?
Yeah, no, seriously. But Sean, help me out here, because I got lost when you said Reigns would be a strong heel champion. Did you say it was going to be a 20-minute match or more?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. I don't know how Reigns can be a strong heel champion. I'm sorry.
No,
it's kind of late.
It's a strong program for Rollins, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
And Triple H is going to make Roman Reigns look really, really strong.
All right.
I'm sensing betrayal from the interferees. Like Roman will betray them at the end. It's like, well, screw you at the end. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I want to pick one piece that was said in the live chat because I think it was really interesting. However, I think I have to scroll up because I have now lost it. Nope. Okay, I got it. Interferences. HBK interferes for Triple H. The Rock interferes for Roman Reigns. What do you guys think about that?
That's gross. Almost as gross as the travesty that was Triple H versus Sting.
Ugh. That was terrible, wasn't it?
It was cool for the nostalgia injection.
No,
but
it was
else.
not. No,
Let's see who can break a hip first.
Who's breaking out more Jerry's?
It was such a shame. They could have gone if they just let them stay without all the interferences, that would have been fine. You know,
that and get rid of the fucking Terminators.
Oh yeah, but they were making money off that, so got it.
Also, there were some NXT guys playing the Terminators. I think Sami Callihan was one of them. Then known as Solomon Crow.
Well, at least he did something productive in WWE.
Yeah, at least they fucking gave him something.
Okay.
And at least Sting had a good thing with Rollins. And yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with interference, yes. 20-minute match, yes. And I am going to go with Roman Reigns winning.
Can we talk about the show that matters now?
No. We are almost there. Man, it feels like we're already at an hour and a half. But we'll get there. We've got a few more extras. All right? The first one is worth 5 points, and I need 10 words or less according to this scorecard. And that was, what will The Rock's big role be at WrestleMania? Joe.
Talking shit about absolutely nothing. Again.
Finally, because fuck you, that's why.
The Rock's big role. I'm going to say heavyweight title match.
Interference?
Yeah.
Or that he gets one after the pin is made, a la Hogan.
He helps Roman win, so he demands the next title shot. That is the darkest of futures.
I am also going to go with a meaningless segment. I think that makes sense. Surprise appearances. We have a long list. I want everyone to look at the scorecard because there is quite a few names here. But it's a 2 points per correct guess. So you have to check off who is going to do what, or at least appear rather. So we've got Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Ronda Rousey, Donald Trump, Bullet Club, Bayley, Finn Balor, CM Punk, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Randy Orton, John Cena, Seth Rollins, the Wyatts, or other. So we'll start with Joe. We'll go to Nick. We'll go to Sean. Joe, who's going to make a surprise appearance?
Austin, Hogan, let's see, Ronda Rousey, and Linda McMahon.
And just to clarify, to count as an appearance, the person must be an active part of the show. Backstage skits do count. Crowd appearance and highlight reels do not count.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, they have to be there and say something, essentially.
And I am going to go against this because it does say 2 points for a correct guess, but not for other. And I think why would you have an other there if you weren't going to count it? So I'm going to count it. So you said
how
Linda?
many can we pick? Because if we go like just thinking in the sense of fairness here, if there's no how many can we pick?
The longer you go, the longer or the more likely we will not talk about NXT tonight. But it's not your turn, so think about it. Nick?
Surprise appearances, I am going to go with Foley, Cena, Coach, and the Wyatts.
Okay, I've got Bailey, I've got Steve Austin, I've got John Cena, and Linda McMahon.
Okay. Man. Let's see what the live chat has to say. Honky Tonk Man, Virgil Hercules, Jack Rogue. Dude, beanbags. No. Stone Cold, Mick Foley, Randy Orton, and Bullet Club. We're getting some votes for them. Austin, Foley, Cena, and Wyatt. I think we'll definitely see Cena. I think we'll definitely see Austin. I can't imagine we'd see Hogan. It's too soon. Linda, for sure. Coach, I think that's already predetermined because there is going to be like an ESPN thing, and that's him.
Yeah.
But I'll give that. And Wyatt family, yeah, of course.
Bailey at the end of the Divas match or in a vignette before, like a backstage thing before.
Oh, and Foley. We'll definitely see Foley too.
Oh, I'm slipping in Terry Funk.
Terry Funk.
I slipped in some of him too, and it was really messy.
That crazy
Well,
mask that he had.
Well, guys, I'm really sorry. I gotta hit you with the chainsaw again in the barbed wire match.
If only somehow he ended up in a dumpster with Mick Foley and got pushed off the stage by New Age Outlaws, that would be amazing.
They're spooning in the dumpster.
If I had a daughter...
Foley's got a daughter, and she don't look that bad.
No, she's going to have a job in WWE one day.
Like, I'll give her a job.
All right, what will be the closing shot of WrestleMania 32? This is worth 10 points, 10 words or less. Joe.
The Roman Reigns holding up the title as fireworks go off.
Close up of Triple H with his crotch in the foreground.
This isn't David Bowie in Labyrinth.
But he will be chopping it.
Sean?
Rock laid out with Roman Reigns holding the title high.
Wait, what? Did you say Brock laid out or Rock?
The
Rock. Rock
Dwayne.
laid out.
I question whether Garvin can smell what's cooking.
I can't always. I have a bad sniffer. All right. My pick is gonna go with what Joe said. Reigns holding the title with fireworks. I like that idea. All right, so that is WrestleMania 32. Let's just quickly go. We're not gonna go over the scorecard because it's somewhere else. So let's do with our picks. Usos versus the Dudleys were split completely there. We have Total Divas defeating the Blonde and the Bad. We are all split with the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Kane, Breeze, Mark Henry, and Darren Young being our picks. Ryback wins your U.S. Championship. We have a split of League of Nations versus New Day.
New Day.
AJ Styles goes over Jericho. Kevin Owens retains his title. Sasha Banks is your new Divas Championship, or Divas Champion. Shane McMahon wins against The Undertaker. Lesnar defeats Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Your 3-time World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, dude. 3-time. So, I've got everything written down as far as our individual scorecards. I'll put those up along with the blank scorecard up on fanstalkprowrestling.com once this show goes up for everyone to listen. So if you're listening on demand, it's there already, hopefully. Cross my fingers. Let's go ahead and move on to NXT Takeover Dallas. It's going to air on Friday, the Friday before WrestleMania, so April 1st. We've got Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn.
Very good.
And thank you. You know, I did pay attention this week to how they were saying it, and it definitely was that way. We have the American Alphas going against the Revival for the Tag Team Championships. Bayley versus Asuka for the Women's Championship, and Finn Balor is going to defend the NXT Championship against Samoa Joe. Now, I should note, we only have about 18 minutes left, guys, so be quick. And it's your fault, Sean. All right. Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. Who you got? Joe.
It is really tempting to go with Austin Aries, but
or Nick.
You know, I think that is how we're going to go here, because fuck Baron Corbin.
So what else do you want to say, Joe?
Apollo Crews will go over Elias Sampson because, of course, he will. Elias Sampson can just drift away.
I see what you did there.
All night, so please cut me off.
All right. I'm going with Austin Aries because, well, finally pay-per-view debut. And since you ran into Apollo Crews, Elias Sampson, I'm going to go with Elias Sampson because they're going to drag this fucking guy out as long as possible.
All right, so are we picking both matches? Because I approve of that. So,
yeah, let's do it.
Let's just get the undercard out of the way.
Yeah.
Austin Aries wins on his debut for sure, and Apollo Crews, the bland man versus the drifter who can drift away. Let's go Apollo Crews because he's slightly more over than Elias Sampson.
Okay.
And drift away. All right. Continue.
So, live chat, we've got Austin Aries winning, Sampson winning. However, there is also a pick for Apollo Crews. I'm going to go with Austin Aries defeating Baron Corbin and Elias Sampson defeating Apollo Crews because Apollo Crews is bland and they seem to still want to push Elias Sampson. I mean, they actually gave him like a feud or at least a stare down. That's something, right?
Do you think they pay him with a can of beans?
No, just $1. They put it on the top of his guitar when he comes out.
They pay him in scarves.
Will his guitar survive TakeOver?
No scorecard for this event. However, that is a good thought. Like, I would love for him to hit Apollo Crews with his guitar.
I would love to
I'm
see
changing
Apollo
my
Crews
pick because, yes.
Okay, I cannot hear both Nick and Nick pretending to be Joe talking at the same time. So, one at a time, Nick.
I am changing my pick because Double J Guitar Smash, absolutely.
Oh, it'd be great. Joe?
What?
You were going to say something, but someone was
I
talking
don't know.
over you.
Nick decided he would talk over me and, again.
Joe did say something.
And you say I'm holding up the show.
Next up, we've got the debut of Shinsuke Nakamura, or as some might call him, Shinsuke, versus Sami Zayn. Joe, who you got?
Well, one, I've learned that apparently if you're coming from Japan to NXT, you need to have a U in your name that is not pronounced.
Yeah, right? Like the S and
like
the K
Hideo
just
Itami.
merge.
There's no U in Hideo Itami.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said if you're coming from Japan, you have to have a U in your name that you don't pronounce.
What was his name before that? Kenta what?
Just Kenta.
Just Kenta.
No, he had a last name, right?
No, it was Kenta in ROH.
Not his ring name.
Well, if you come and you don't have a U in your name, you get injured and sidelined for like a year.
Yeah,
So,
and no one really cares because you're not going to hit the
last name.
GTS anyways.
His last name is Kobayashi, by the way, so no U there either.
Ah,
yeah,
it's close.
it's all me. So no, but and this one's tough, but I'm going to go with Shinsuke. Yeah,
It's going to be an awesome match.
yeah.
I think this will be the show
think
stealer.
Zayn's already moving on, so he's on the main roster now. So I don't think it really matters. It'll be a good match, but it'll be more about Nakamura being showcased and showing the American fans why he's fantastic than it is for Sami Zayn needing a win.
Yeah, this will be Sami Zayn's last match in NXT.
And for that, it'll be a celebration of Zayn as well as the new of Shinsuke. So I think this will be a show stealer, to be honest. I think Nakamura is that good. And they will give them time, for sure. I think this will be 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. This is the whole thing I'm actually excited for this weekend is seeing Nakamura debut.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see just his entrance and like what music they go with. If they go, cliched Asian-ish sounding music or what they do. I'm just hoping that his charisma can just explode like it usually does and what he has done in the past. So I'm really excited for this. This should be good.
I hope he comes down to what was it? Jimmy Wang Yang? Jimmy Wang.
Yeah, Jimmy Wang Yang.
Yeah, I hope they reuse his music for Shinsuke.
I have it on good authority that he's getting Yoshitatsu's music.
Oh, there you go. So, Nick.
Not Funaki's?
No, come on. That's racist.
You know what? I'm inventing a third option. I think they will fight to a time limit draw because you can't make me choose.
See, Nick's throwing away his pick because...
Yeah, I mean...
you don't do that if that's Sami Zayn's last match.
Well, but at the same time, like...
Who says it's going to be his last match?
I'm saying it's going to be his last match.
Yeah,
I don't think it will be. Besides, this is Nakamura.
He's wrestling at WrestleMania. How is this not his last match?
And they're gonna give what's his name Tensai's music.
Tommy wrestled at WrestleMania, and that wasn't his last match in NXT.
Did he?
Yeah, he was in the armbar.
Count the pre-show.
He was at WrestleMania. They did not segregate that like they are this year.
Okay.
It will be Zayn's last match, and you'll have Nakamura and Sami Zayn both raise their hand at the end. Everyone will be happy because it was an awesome match. There'll be probably a girl crying in the front row, and there you go. Zayn will lose. He has to lose because why would you bring in and build up Nakamura to be this amazing, the best of strong style, rah, 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 and not have him win? No
there
draw.
There is a basis for my choice because in Japan, that's what they do. They do have time limits. And they have fought to 60-minute time limits before.
60 minutes? No. What's the time limit on this match?
I'm not saying that this match will have a 60-minute time limit. I'm saying probably 30.
Oh, wow.
The show's only 2 hours, I think, scheduled on the network. So,
wow.
Really think the undercard is going to get that much time?
Yes. Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin? That's going to go at least
15,
20 minutes, yeah.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you over 10. I won't give you 15. I'll give you like 12.
All right, we got 10 minutes to go. I'm going to go, if I didn't say before, Shinsuke. Let's go to the Tag Team Championship match. American Alphas go up against the Revival. Does the Revival retain their titles, Joe?
In this one, no, I don't think so. I think the Revival is going to lose their titles.
Okay. Is anyone saying the Revival will retain?
Nope.
I want them to.
Really?
Because not only are they my boys, but I really want the feud to be resolved between them and Enzo and Cass, but I get the feeling that it's not going to be. I get the feeling that they're moving on to American Alpha.
Well, they do have the match here at TakeOver, so they have moved on already.
Right, but the possibility exists that that's not permanent. Like, Enzo and Cass lost, so they have to move to the back of the line for now, but they could get a title shot against the Revival in the future.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm just going to quickly add, I'm going with the formula that works so well at Brooklyn, TakeOver Brooklyn, is that every babyface on the Brooklyn card won, and that really worked for them. Everyone was so happy when it ended, so I think that it will be American Alpha, and moving through it'll be the babyfaces, which the next match is going to be both faces anyway. But yeah.
Asuka versus Bayley for the Women's Championship. Anyone picking Bayley?
This one's a tough one because I think Asuka it's great for her to get her shot, but what do you do with Bayley at next? You know what? Yeah, screw it. I'm going with Asuka as well. No one's picking.
I am picking Bayley because I think Asuka is going to get jumped. I think Maria and Nia Jax interfere.
I think Bayley's going to go after Sasha Banks on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, agreed.
That would be a ruthless maneuver that I don't think Bayley has in her. I mean, Sasha Banks won't be holding the belt on Raw anyway, but even so.
Well, neither will you, so what's the point?
Becky Lynch will be, is my point.
Live chat is saying Asuka wins. I am also going to go with Asuka. Which leads us to the main event at NXT TakeOver Dallas on April 1st. Finn Balor defends the NXT Championship against Samoa Joe. Does Samoa Joe finally get his title, the NXT Championship?
He does.
That was Nick, everyone, just so you know. Joe?
Oh, come back to me. You guys got to do some convincing.
Sean.
Okay, what would Balor have if he loses? Does he go to WWE? Does he go on Raw? I don't see that happening. I think they're going with Finn because if my prediction's right, with Asuka winning, they need one of those strong characters, either Bayley or Finn, to be there to hold the brand, to talk for the brand. Asuka can perform for the brand, but she can't talk. So Finn Balor for sure. Samoa Joe doesn't need to win. They'll put on a great match again. The one thing that hasn't been addressed, which might come out in NXT tomorrow, will be if Finn Balor is going to be the Demon or not. If the Demon does not exist, is not coming out, make way for the Balor Club.
Excuse me. And that is the question. Does the Bullet Club debut here? Or the Balor Club, if you will. Anyone?
I don't think Gallows and Gunn get involved in this match. I really don't, because I firmly believe Joe is winning, and I think Balor's heel turn, if it comes at all, is going to come later. And if Balor loses, I don't see him moving up to the main roster. I see him staying down in NXT for a while, eventually becoming a heel.
Okay. Yeah, I also do not see the Balor Club or the Bullet Club debut here. I don't know when though, when would make complete sense. Is it the Raw after WrestleMania? Is it the NXT episode after TakeOver? I don't know, but this doesn't seem to be the place for me, at least. So I'm going to go with Joe. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Finn Balor. Finn Balor wins and retains. You know, the thing is, I have a hard time continuing to pick Joe just because of how awfully he was treated in TNA. He never won the title when I wanted him to, and I see that continuing here. So I'm going to go with Finn Balor.
On the subject of Gallows and Gunn's debut, I see that happening the first night of the next set of NXT tapings because I don't think they want that to be spoiled.
Any chance we have a double turn here? Beanbags is bringing that up in the live chat.
No.
Yes.
I do think Balor will eventually turn heel, but I think that's going to be a little bit of a burn.
You know, we did see a little glimpse of it, though, in his match this week against the flippy guy that dances. I can't think of his name right now.
Rich Swann, Philistine.
Rich Swann. By the way, no one is calling that gimmick racist, by the way. I just wanted to point that out.
Just want to jump in. My pick.
Fantastic.
I know, it's awesome, and he's good at it. And yeah, but it is a dancing guy that is also black. So, anyway.
I need difference. All right. Before we get into all that, my pick is Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe is going to win. I think Finn Balor's going to get pissed off, and he's going to turn his back on the fans, and that's when we're going to see the Balor Club emerge. There. I had to get that in. We're running out of time.
All right, that's NXT TakeOver. We've got Austin Aries going over Baron Corbin, Elias Sampson defeating Apollo Crews, Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Sami Zayn, although some are saying it's going to be a time limit draw, even though I don't think that has ever existed in a pay-per-view before, but who knows? We'll see. Also, American Alphas winning the tag team championship, Asuka becoming the new women's champion, and we are completely split on who will walk out of NXT TakeOver Dallas as your NXT champion. That's it. We're going to skip Win-Fail today.
Cool.
We're going to cover it over in the Squared Circle of Trust content. So once again, if you want to check out that content, it's going to be available later on this week. All you got to do is subscribe through our Patreon page. You can reach it at squaredcircleoftrust.com. Any final thoughts before we head out?
Yes. Friend of the show, Justin Main wants you to post a hashtag WWE to get him into the Cruiserweight series. So tweet WWE with hashtag We Want Justin Main. That's We Want JUSTINMANE.
Rich Swan's gimmick is not racist.
I know. I feel the same way. I feel the same way, but I'm surprised that no one is saying it. Considering R-Truth, very similar. You also had Xavier Woods, very similar when he first debuted. Brodus Clay, very similar when he debuted the new character. So I'm just pointing it out that it's interesting that no one is saying it.
The issue is whether they're being billed as a dancer or not.
Yeah. Okay. You can find more about us and what we do at fanstalkprowrestling.com. This series, as well as the rest of the podcast released through fanstalkpodcast.com, are supported exclusively by our Patreon subscribers. If you like what we do and you enjoy our time together each and every week, go ahead. Go to our Patreon page and subscribe for as little as $1 a month. $1 a month goes a long way in our books. And the more you subscribe the more you pledge, the more you get, especially with our Squared Circle of Trust exclusive content, which we try to get out at least twice a month. For Nick, Joe, Sean, and everyone in the live chat, shout outs to Diva Jill, Beanbags, and Ishmael Carmichael for helping us out tonight. My name is Garvin, and we will see you next Tuesday. Later. Fans Talk Pro Wrestling is part of the Fans Talk Podcast family, can be found at fanstalkpodcast.com. The Fans Talk Podcast family is a subsidiary of Tigar Creative, LLC.